Talk to me, Megan.
I don't know exactly how to even like start with the problem. Like, where would you start?
Okay. Hold on a second. So that feeling of I don't know where to start it's really common for the AP Calculus test. And so part of what I want to do as we're working together is I want to get you to just learn slowly but surely ways to get past that feeling, because it's a really common feeling. What I would do is this. Don't try to never read the problem thinking, I'm trying to find something I've done before. That's your habit. In fact, that's most people's habit, is to think, I must have done one like this. What did I do before? But they do a really good job on the AP test of preventing that. So don't think that way. Instead, just take what they give you. So let's see. It says the function f is given by this. Okay, right there I wouldn't worry about anything, because there are so many AP problems where they give you formulas. So I don't even think hardly anything. I'm like, okay, they gave me f, whatever. I don't even read the formula, it's just f. It says f has a relative min at x equal. Okay, right there, you should immediately be remembering a flashcard. And if you're not, that means you either don't have the card or you haven't used the cards enough to make the memories as permanent as they must be for AP Calculus. So do you have the card? You have the card. So what does the card say?
So it would be when f changes from decreasing to increasing.
Pause right there. That's perfect. Anybody else need the card who doesn't have the card? Yeah, you definitely want to have this flashcard that she's describing. So what I would have is on the front side of the card, just write what they have here. F has relative min, and then I put dot, 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 which is my indication to flip the card over. And then on the back, Megan said, so here's my flashcard. F has relative min. We could just use this example, I guess. Whatever. Dot, dot, dot. Where f changes, decrease to increase, and then there's a big or here. You're doing really well, Megan. Stay with me. So you're okay to there. Does anyone else? We'll let Zach catch up because I want to make sure the next step makes sense. We don't need the flashcard. Okay? And you just didn't have it because we did this a lot in term 1. So, okay, you're good here, Megan. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, I know this sounds creepy, but I gotta get inside your head a little bit. I got to know how you're thinking so I can help you adjust your thinking. So you said you felt stuck. You remember this. So tell me what you're thinking right now, just whatever you're thinking.
So then would I just start plugging in numbers to see when it changes? Or
Keep talking. When it changes how?
Well, that's where I just wasn't sure, because then I wanted to change it to like find the f prime, so then I could do the numbers change from negative to positive.
So did you feel 100% confident that you needed to be analyzing f prime?
Yeah.
That's perfect. The only thing that's missing in your memory, I'm not sure this is a flashcard necessarily. It might just be we talk about it and you go, oh, I just didn't think of that. The thing that's missing in your memory is when I need to figure out when f prime is changing from positive to negative or negative to positive, if I don't have a graph, my first choice is a graph. But I don't have a graph of f prime. So my second choice is always a sign chart. So that's what you should be thinking, is I need a sign chart of f prime. Do you need a flashcard to help you remember that? I don't know.
No, that's just now like thinking through, like, of course.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have a follow-up? Like, you can, I hope you see that. I really am trying hard to get to each and every one of you individually and figure out, okay, what is it that's causing you to kind of hit here on a test score instead of here? Because we want to help you get to here. So I need a sign chart of f prime. Anybody need me to talk more about that? So Megan's doing great. She's talking very well. So do you remember what would come next? So that was something you missed in your memory, which is okay. We're just fixing that. So now you know you need a sign chart of f prime. What would you now do? You're okay. But you're revealing something really, really important through this discussion, which is there's some kind of blind spot in your memory, and it could have been due to quarantining or whatever, that just left you not really realizing that the path from this point is much more straightforward than you realize. You need a sign chart of f prime. Can't make a sign chart of f prime unless I have an equation for f prime. So we need an equation for f prime. So what's f prime, Megan?
F prime would be 6x squared minus 6x minus 12.
So let's write that down. As always, thinking with me is going to be a lot more valuable than watching. Does anyone, I lost my little sound check thing. Hold on, I got to get that back. Make sure this is working. So I would have a card that said that on one side. That if I don't have a graph, I'm going to use a sign chart. And then, does anyone happen to know the first step well, the first step is to know what you're sign charting. So first step here is I think it's helpful that we call one tool Danica's chart, we call the other tool a sign chart, because Megan didn't need to do this step. She figured out that she needed to sign chart f prime. But I've had a lot of people make mistakes because they sign chart the wrong thing. So I will say, don't ever sign chart until you've Danica's charted. I don't know how to say that, the words come out all wrong. Don't do a sign chart until you've used Danica's chart first. Because Danica's chart will show you clearly what you should be making a sign chart of. We know we need a sign chart of f prime, so we've done step 1. Anybody, what's step 2? Joseph? As much as possible, we would like to have what we are charting factored. It's a lot harder if it's not. Sometimes you can't, you're stuck, but if you can, you want to factor. So tell me how to factor, Joseph.
So you can take out a 6,
Just keep going.
So then you do x minus...
Oh, wait, let's do it in steps.
Okay.
So let's go x squared.
So x squared and then minus x and then minus 6.
Joseph's going to keep going here, but does anyone have question? Go ahead.
So then you can factor it over into a quadratic. So then you would do x minus, and then you would see what adds to multiplies negative 1, or adds negative 2, or no, multiplies negative 2 and adds to negative 1. So that would be negative 2, yes, minus 2, and then x plus 1.
Anybody want to talk more about that? She said a key thing. She saw right here that this is a quadratic, and not all, but most quadratics on the AP test will factor. Most, but not all. So she factored the quadratics. Now we have f prime factored. That would be step 2 over here on my sign chart. Josie, what's the next step?
So then you can make the sign chart.
Now we draw the sign chart. What are we making a sign chart of, Josie?
Each of the terms.
I probably said that badly. We're ultimately making a sign chart of f prime.
Yeah.
So I want to put f prime here, so I know I'm making a sign chart of f prime. The sign chart shows me what the y coordinates of f prime are going to do for different x coordinates. So that's what we're charting. We factored. The next step on my flashcard is find the zeros. I guess I'll call them the undefines, just in case there are any. So we're charting f prime, so we need to find the zeros of f prime. So Josie, what are the zeros of f prime?
2, -1.
And just, again, another thing that will help you on the test is practice being specific, and it prevents errors. So say x equal 2, x equal -1. Perfect.
I have a quick, well, I don't know if it's quick, probably quick.
Let me pause the video, hold on.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no, you're good.
I apologize. Man, he's good.
Not true, but we keep trying.
Hey, Craig.
So Josie said the zeros of f prime are at x equal -1 and x equal 2. Make sure your sign chart is well spread out, otherwise it does cause mistakes. Questions? We've really had 2 really good discussions so far, because again, the focus should never be a problem. Focus needs to be the concepts that get used in the problem. So the previous one did bring out some, actually the whole room was weak on the chain rule. Because when I asked you to find that f, derivative of f of 2x, no one could do it. Here, sign charts are a big part, like they're just a big enough part of the AP test, you've got to know how to use them. So, questions to hear? What's next?
So you would like figure out what signs are on the graph. So if you plugged in a -1 for x, then you would have, it would be positive. Or no, if you plugged in less than -1.
There you go. So just pick a number. It's usually safer.
So like -2.
Good. So that means we're going to put -2 here and here. We just kind of check little by little, and we don't care about numbers, only signs. So a -2 here will make this factor.
I guess
Yeah, so
oh, sorry. It would be negative.
good. This factor would be
Also.
good. This is positive. So the value of f prime when x is -2 would be positive. That's the way the sign chart is read. Therefore, for all of these x's, f prime will have positive y coordinates. We want to talk about it. Keep going.
Okay, so then you can pick a number in between those, which would be add to 0.
I would choose 0 as well, and I don't care about the scale. I never worry about that. So
then
this would be,
that would be negative. X would be positive.
now this is, good. Keep going.
And then that gets 30. The next one.
This would be, there we go. So now the correct answer, Josie, is 2. Please.
How can you tell again if it's positive overall if you have like 2 negatives underneath the factors?
Oh, let's talk. So are you looking, here, or are you looking here?
Either, like, because in the green above, we choose like if you plug in -2, it makes the first one negative and the second one negative also. And then for 0, it would be like negative and then positive. Like, how can you tell if it's negative overall or positive, what you'll write under the sign?
Oh, gotcha. Let me see if I can get you to say it, then it will stick better. Is that okay? So what she's doing is we're really making a table of f prime values for different x's. And so she said if I take x equal -2 and I plug it in here and here, so I'm plugging it into f prime, this will be a positive number. That positive is going to get multiplied by, you tell me, Zach, would this be a positive or negative number when x is -2? So I'm going to take a positive value multiplied by a negative.
And then multiply by the next one also, which would be negative.
So negative times negative is, times another positive is. So that's why this is positive.
Okay, and you just do that with the others.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Please.
Can I use a different problem?
Oh, almost. Hold on. We have a question. Everybody good? Okay, cool. Stop that video.